Can you guys hear me?
You can share it from there if you'd like.
Can you guys hear me?
Soft and unmuted.
What did you say?
Can you hear us, Chuck?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Is your mic?
Yeah. Can you hear us, Chuck?
Oh, you might have to turn your volume on.
Didn't I? I thought it
I think
was.
you guys heard yours. Can you hear us,
I
Chuck?
can-
There we go.
I can hear you guys. Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Right.
Good morning.
Morning,
Are you feeling better?
kinda. Somewhat.
Somewhat.
Are you gonna run the meeting?
No, no, I might not make it through the whole meeting.
Okay.
I nominate Scott for chairman for the day.
Okay, well, we'll move right on to the commissioner meeting and Zoom platform, audio versus video streaming and recording, discussion and decision. We talked about this last week and I see there's a note from Susie Browning. Did you see that?
Yeah.
So I guess you want started or? I'm
Well-
All right,
still-
I want to make a motion on this.
Go ahead.
Okay, motion is kind of long. I'll read it slow. Motion to only use audio of Zoom to record commission meetings. Overhead camera to be removed immediately. Individual commissioners can use laptop video cameras if desired.
Okay, any comments?
I feel the same as I did last week. That we need to have audio and video. And it's to assure transparency. And pictures speak louder than words, and we are public officials in the public eye. And there has indeed been things said and feelings get hurt. But we have to move on. And
Unbelievable.
I feel that this is public information for all the public, and audio does not clarify and make it more, how would I say it, where you can understand it better. And that's my feeling. And so that's how I want to stay.
Okay, Blanche, did you see the video of Claire reading that she posted on September 14th on YouTube? Did you see that?
Chuck, I saw that and I saw, you're asking me the question. I did see it. I also understand that it wasn't part of our meeting. It was not being recorded. The camera was rolling and comments were made on body language, which was, as far as I'm concerned, not good. And I feel that it's something that we have to deal with.
Oh, come on. I don't see how you can say that.
Granite County Clerk or Commissioner's Office.
Hello?
Is this Andy?
Yes, it is.
Okay, did you call back in just about 5 minutes?
Okay, I'll do that.
Thanks.
Yep.
I told him at 9. My phone. I'm definitely against the video. I like the audio, but I'm against the video.
So, and in this,
Should I say it?
Please state your reasons.
Just that I'm, after watching stuff and seeing how we're getting posted on stuff, I'm just against having that there. You can't do nothing, or, I mean, it's, I know we're in the public eye, but, you know, it's just not right that the stuff is getting done that way.
Okay, my wife would like to make a statement if that's okay with everybody.
Okay, I watched that video that was on YouTube by Claire Reading. And she put a bunch of falsehoods in to the way somebody was talking. My husband talks with his arms all the time. We were in the car the other day and his arms were going when he was saying something. So that was misinterpreted. And it's going to be misinterpreted by other people. And then she put a bunch of other falsehood lies on that video. And so as far as I'm concerned, you know, audio speaks for itself. You're saying what you say. Video without any speaking, right there, it is interpreted in a wrong way. It's interpreted by lies because somebody wants to slander somebody else. And what's sad is other people see that and hear that, and then they think it's truth, and it's not. You know, he has done, my husband, Chuck Hinkle, has done so many things fairly and trying to do things right with this commission. And then you get a person that's willing to look at an audio and sit there and misinterpret it. So in my opinion, video speaks for itself. You're saying what you're saying, but audio is up for anybody's interpretation, especially if they don't put, or excuse me, the other way around. Audio, you say what you're going to say, but video, I mean, you can put your own words in that very easily. So anyway.
Maybe Clara Reading would like to tell me which meeting I was kicked out of in Mako.
We can't hardly hear you, Chuck, but anyway, on that,
Good night.
Blaine has a comment.
This is Blaine. Can you hear me, Chuck?
Yeah,
Yeah, I did watch that video, and Lena said some things that she shouldn't have said. I agree with that. One of the things though is members of the public can come right into the commission meeting and with video cameras and videotape, and the commission couldn't stop that. I understand your point on you know, whether the commission allows audio or video or not would be a commission decision. But I think potentially we should look at maybe some other type remedies, but so I think you guys should think about it a little more potentially, and we think about it.
absolutely not, Blaine. I'm kind of disappointed in you. You think that they can sit there and say those things about a person? Huh?
Well, no, I don't. I absolutely agree with you, but they can say them.
Hey, anybody could be next, Blaine.
Where's the mic at?
I can't, we can't.
He said that real frustrated with what she did, and he's upset with me. I agree with you, Chuck, on
Where's the mic?
the things should not have been said, but I don't know that stopping the video is going to be the remedy.
I guess that brings it back to that, then, you know, people should come in where we can't stop them.
Correct. Yeah, go ahead.
That, then, listening, I talked to Blanche and I listened to that, and I guess then when you, like you said, you close your eyes and wonder what's being said, but then you wonder what's going on, how you're being pictured in it. So that's why I'm against the video. I'm for, if a certain person wants to be on, they should be able to be on. If they don't, they shouldn't have to.
And Chuck, I think it's the commission's decision. So yeah, it's not. I don't have anything to do with the decision. I just giving you my thoughts.
Is that where it is?
Okay, I totally agree with what Scott said. Let's,
There is
why
something
don't,
else
hey,
that we can do
Scott,
something
can we hear from Claire Reading and
different
see what
way,
she
you
has
know,
to say?
so-
Find it.
He was asking me what.
What's that?
He wants to hear from Elena.
Huh?
He wants to hear from Elena.
Is she on?
She is on.
So we'll take a public comment on this and we're gonna have to move on. 'Cause we got people calling in here pretty quick. Go ahead, Elena.
Thank you. Let me clarify something for all of you. I record these meetings and they are unedited. What you see is what exactly happened. Claire puts it up on her channel.
Who's Claire?
Please excuse me.
Excuse
I-
you. Who's
I
Claire?
see, this is exactly what happens. The public is open for comment now, and Mr. Hinkle loves to interfere. He follows no procedure at all for a public meeting. Now, I'm not finished. Now, you had somebody come on, his wife, Heidi. Was she coming on as public comment or what? That's kind of
Yes, it wa-
interesting, and I don't think it was open for public.
I asked for
Comment.
comments. I did.
Oh, you did? I thought it was the commissioner's discussion.
He didn't say that.
Now, I've got the floor. Blaine is correct. And he happens to be your attorney, Mr. Hinkle. And he's correct. I can come in there and I can record it like I used to before this COVID pandemic started. And it's
Yeah.
interesting how you're not there, Mr. Hinkle, but you are taking advantage of this Zoom meeting. And the public should also take advantage of it. And look at your presence on Zoom. Are you Mr. iPad? Wow, you criticized
Blaine
me
needs to
because
step
I
in
wouldn't
here.
show my
Blaine needs to step
picture
in here, Elena.
as my 3 minutes.
Tell her you've got COVID.
So, Elena, the issue is not with your public comment, it's how you're conveying it. I mean, on there, you called him a creep and posted that online. That's where the frustration's getting, that's gotta stop, so you get charged. I'm gonna charge you for a misdemeanor again if you don't stop. Chuck is at his wit's end, the calling him names and all that stuff has gotta stop. Let's have a conversation about the issues, not about the people. We gotta get away from having conversations about the people.
Tell her you've got COVID, that's why you're home.
Both Elena and.
Hey, Elena. I happen to have
Chuck, just
COVID.
a second, Dick's on there. And then we're gonna have to move on this motion because it's already, we've got 2 minutes left and there's people calling in. So go ahead, Dick. Gotta be quick, you got 2 minutes.
Can you hear me?
Are you there?
Well, what you're trying to do here as far as the law is concerned is that according to the open meeting laws, the
If there's a
section
law against this, we'd be-
2-203, all meetings of the public public commissions are supposed to be open to the public. You continually try to shut them down and you continually try to limit the amount of discussion and turning off the microphones is another violation of the open meeting laws. It's official misconduct, and I think that you guys should take a lot harder look at what the laws are and how you're going to comply with it. The meetings are for the
Well, we're
public.
gonna have to move on, Dick. I hate to cut you off.
I don't think you should be moving on
People
without,
calling in, so
without
we're gonna
having
move
public
on and
discussion. If you can't have public discussion, you're violating.
We're gonna move on the motion. I second it. And I think if there's a comment thing, if there's a better way to do this, let's look into it. But right now,
Vote,
I did.
you did?
No, I'm getting ready to. I just second the motion.
Okay,
All in favor?
aye.
Aye. Opposed?
Nay.
Okay. So we'll move on now.
For clarification, I would start next week, right? 'Cause she's already, so she can get it set up and start next week.
Yes, I recommend we start this next week. We'll stay with it today just to get this through. Cause then nobody knew about it, how we were gonna vote or nothing. So now I leave it today and we'll work it out. All right, we're on to the 9:15, the road and bridge superintendent call. And then we've had a couple people been trying to call in. We got kind of tied up there. Hopefully they'll call back. Just a second. Oh,
They're not gonna be able to hear you as good because.
They're saying they can't.
Oh,
Rachel. Rachel.
Yeah, you can call in now, okay? We'll answer. We'll get back.
Is Rachel Parkin? part of the
Okay, so
discussion?
it's Roger and Tina, are you on?
But is Rachel Parkin part of this discussion?
What's that?
Yes, she is. Rachel Parkin's.
I can't
Yes,
see.
I'm here. Thank you. I'm an
Commissioner's
attorney.
office.
Yep, I'm an
Okay.
attorney here on behalf of Harvey Creek Ranch with Roger Fithian.
Attorney for Roger 15.
Okay. We'll take public comments on this. We'll take it first from the road supervisor. All
We're talking about the cattle guard.
Yeah.
I'm against putting the cattle guard in that road or any county road. Because all it is, it creates us a bunch more work. And we're currently trying to take them out where we can take them out. We certainly don't want to put them in. And it's not our job to fence people's cattle out. They're not our cattle. I believe if they've got an issue, they need a cattle guard, put it in their own driveway that they have to take care of. I don't think we should have the expense of that. And that's my opinion.
Okay. Lance, you got something?
Right now, I have no opinion on it. I don't really know. I will go on the experience in the authority of the commission and Paul Alt.
And I don't know if it would be helpful to the commissioners if you'd like us to speak briefly as to the location and the reason for the cattle guards prior to continuing with public comment. I don't know if that would assist in your decision-making process, but we're happy to do that.
I'm sorry, who is Rachel? Who are-
I'm an attorney here from Milo Dragovich, Dell and Steinbrenner with Roger Fithian.
Okay,
Just wanted to do explanation.
Huh?
She just wanted to explain
Oh,
the
okay.
situation.
We have Andy Weaver's on the phone.
Wonderful. Okay.
So, well, under the recommendation, I go with the supervisor, and I don't think we need to put a cattle guard there. If they want to put a cattle guard, they can put it in their own driveways, and then that solves the problem.
is it possible to put one in their own driveway?
Yes.
Furthermore, there hasn't been any fence there. They claim now if we did put a cattle guard in, they would find the fence off their property, but there's a fence there that's so crippled up, a calf can go through it anywhere it wants to. So, and it's been like that for years.
And again, if we can have a moment, I'd like to, go ahead and explain to the commissioners why we think it's necessary. And I think that might assist with the discussion if I have the commissioner's approval to go ahead. Okay, wonderful. So, right, I think it's necessary for a number of reasons, and I'll have Roger jump in here in just a moment as well. First of all, I think it's primarily a safety issue. We have a road that gets very snowy, very icy in the winter. There's cows all over that road, which is the reason we need a cattle guard there. I do know that this road, Mullen Trail Road, is an alternate route. So again, Roger, jump in here and maybe if we could unmute Roger so that he can participate, that would be great. There was a landslide a year or two ago, and while that road, the frontage road on the other side was closed, I understand that Mullen Trail Road was the alternate. It experienced heavy traffic, and that's likely to continue. It's the only other available road. So making sure that road is clear of cattle is important, and it's a public safety issue. And a cattle guard would go a long way towards that. I heard Paul's comments with regard to trying to remove cattle guards and the cost of the cattle guards. Roger has already offered to help defray the costs by installing the side gates for the cattle guard. I know that there was also a cattle guard recently removed. I think it was Rumsey Road, and likely we could just reuse that cattle guard. I think that there's probably not a lot of maintenance that the county would have to do. And I suspect that Roger would be willing to assist with some maintenance as necessary. So Roger, I'm gonna, turn it over to you for just a moment if you want to speak to particularly the condition of the fencing and those issues.
Yeah, so in regards to the fencing, it would take us less time. It'll take us less than a day to fix that fence up to where it'll hold cattle. Excuse me, if we were to fix that fence now, it would create a scenario where Weaver's cows would come in and be able to get onto our hay fields and not be able to get out unless they went back to the county road. And if they're gonna get pressured, they're gonna go through the fence. I mean, that fence has been cut and torn out in various locations, and I can guarantee you that we did not do it. We've already got plans to rebuild the fence, new fencing. That's just a minor matter in this whole big picture, because in my opinion, if Mr. Alt wants to take that position, then they got to start pulling cattle guards all across the county. And man, you're going to wreak havoc with a whole lot of residents. They're going to have issues just like this. And man, that's just, you have to have, if the county is going to be discretionary in their decisions, they need to have a fair standard of discretion in those decisions. And to arbitrarily choose, well, we're not going to do one here, but we're going to do one there. We're going to pull one, so there'd have to be some kind of standards set, but there is a big safety issue here with these cows coming in our gates year after year in the spring and the fall. In the spring, it's heifers that are coming our gates, and we got bulls here penned up, buck and bull program. So we chase them out every chance we get, and we use our dogs to chase them out. The dogs run out on the county road and chase them down the road, and the dogs could get hurt, we could get hurt. But the vehicle traffic, the cows all bottle up at the cattle guard on the east side of the property, where a vehicle can't even get through there. And you pressure them and they go through the fences. On one occasion, a cow even got its leg stuck in the trying to get out of there, and I was able to,
because we got other public comments coming in. And one question is, why can't you put the cattle guards in your driveways?
well, here again, the fair standards. Are you going to ask that of everybody in the county then? there's been a long history here of with, maybe not being treated fairly on different issues, and I just see this as an ongoing
All
thing
right,
here,
Blaine's
but
got a
And so
comment.
if I could just add to that, I believe that there are at least
What
three.
about, I
other-
got, Blaine's got a comment, sorry.
The idea, I mean, he's making a good argument on why it should be put in, but it's your guys' discretion. It's not, you guys aren't being arbitrary if you're saying we don't want that expense. So,
Blanche.
it's, be a commission's decision.
Commission's office.
Yeah, this Andy Weaver calling in again.
I'd let her.
There for some reason.
Okay.
Go ahead and finish, sorry about that.
I'm just listening to what.
Rachel, go ahead, Rachel.
Sure, thank you. I was just gonna add that there's at least 3 other cattle guards on Mullen Trail Road, right? And so, I think Blaine hits it on the nail. The question, is it arbitrary? Is it arbitrary to allow those other 3 gates and maintain those other 3 gates and to deny Harvey Creek Ranch the gate that they're looking for, the guard that they're looking for? It's a question of arbitrariness. It's a question almost of equal protection too, right? So why were those gates permitted? Why are they, or guards permitted? Why are they permitted to continue to be there on that road? And then the guard we're seeking to put in is potentially being denied. For what reason? Why is the gate we're proposing or the guard we're proposing on the same road where 3 already exist any different? And I'd add too, it's not going to impede the movement of cattle down the road if there's already cattle guards on that road. The point's to keep them off the road and to improve public safety.
Okay, well, thank you.
So it's not, I disagree with it being arbitrary. If it's an expense there, you guys want to incur, that's fine. If it's your discretion on whether you do that or not. Those other cattle guards have already been in there, correct? This is about putting another one in.
Yeah.
So, that arbitrary issue, I disagree with.
And there's still a lot of fence down on that road for miles. So putting that cattle guard in is not gonna stop cattle from being on that road, only to stop it from being on that small section of road.
in this small section of
We'll
road is
go
where
for,
they,
I'm gonna have is there a motion on this?
So
Chuck, are you still on there?
I don't know. I'd have to see it. Right now, I go along, I go along with what
Okay,
Paul
well,
says
we'll
right now.
table this for next week.
I was gonna say, I'm happy to provide, and if you'd like to table it till next week, I'm happy to provide, and actually I have them available if you want to see them today, photographs specifically of the location. I had sent those, I think, to Billy yesterday afternoon, so they would be available for the commissioners today. So we do have videos
Okay.
of the exact location. We have a plat of the exact location, and I'm happy to share my screen for those. So you can see those if you'd like to right now.
Well, I'll take Chuck and come down, we can put it, we can meet and go look at it.
So if there's 2 of
You know
you.
Yeah, we'll make it, yeah. Or we can even send him down with the road supervisor and he can look at it, but. Right, I think we'll just table it for next week then, but my comment is I'm going with the road supervisor and now we don't want more cattle guards, so that's why I'm stuck. And that's nothing to do with a personal issue, like read my email, and I don't have a personal issue over this. It's just that we're trying to get away from cattle guards all around the county and we're running out of time, and so we'll just table it for next week and go from there.
Yeah, that sounds good, Scott, but I'm quarantined, so I don't know where I can go.
Maybe 2
We have
weeks.
to table it for a couple of weeks until he's out of quarantine.
Yeah, that sounds good, Chuck.
Okay.
All right, well, thank you, everybody.
time is of
thank
the
you,
essence
Commissioners.
here. I don't know if, I don't know if you can still hear me, but no,
We
time is
gotta
of the
move
essence.
on.
Yeah, well, just wanted to say that, hopefully you heard me, time is of the essence, because the cows will be coming here probably within the next couple of weeks, 2-3 weeks, so anyhow, on this side of the road, so.
All right, well, thank you. We gotta move on.
All right, thank you.
Any other stuff, Paul, on the road and bridge?
I got one quick question. that I need to know what, I'm gonna make this on anyway, but we have that trailer that's in the right of way up at Red Lion. And we sent a letter to them, and then last week I went and took it, I taped it, one on there. So that expires on the 30th. So what's the plan if that's not moved? Are we moving it or?
Yeah, but under the statute, we can move it, or I can charge him disorderly conduct. What do you prefer? Or I can bring a civil suit. I think charging him would be the easiest if you don't want to move it.
I mean, I got no problem moving it. I want to know what to do, you know,
Who
and,
is-
and very possibly maybe he's gonna have it moved. Let's hope that,
Yeah.
you know.
Hopefully it does.
Is that him, Rachel Parkin?
Hmm?
Or that's her still?
Hey,
Rachel,
Paul.
the
Hey, Paul.
attorney.
See,
Yeah,
I can't remember, was that plow, was it off the road enough?
yeah, the plow's in the right of way as well. I actually took pictures of it.
So he's gotta move that too.
Right. Hopefully he hasn't moved.
I guess we'll have you maybe on the 30th, run up and check and then get a hold, and then we can talk to Blaine about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can charge him with disorderly conduct for blocking the easement.
Okay. Any other stuff?
Just what we're doing. One thing, let's just speed to the dump because we're kind of running out of time here.
Yeah, we got people coming in.
The dump people are running out of man due to the COVID. And so like yesterday, for example, Republic came in and they picked up our dumpsters, not, you know, they're a day ahead of time, so they weren't ready to go. So gonna work with them, and anytime they do that, we gotta get a tipping fee well reduced. Because they're charging them like $750 every time they pick them up. Well, if they're picking them up and they're half full, we can't pay that $750. So what's gonna happen here probably is we're going to set up a schedule with them, like say pick up Peaburg on Thursday, pick up on Drummond on Tuesday, whatever we decide, and shoot for that. And when they're not full, we're gonna have to get a negotiated rate from them.
Just, they did,
So-
the rates went up to, by the 1st of October, they're going up.
Yeah, so I mean,
Last year, I got that stuff.
that's gonna be an issue that I'm working with now.
They're going up to $750, or is that $750 what it is now?
They're about $750 now.
There's 773 Drummond site, Phillipsburg's 852, and they're gonna go up to 800 Drummond site, 881 Phillipsburg site.
And they can't do that on half dumpsters.
No,
So, I mean, that's gonna be a problem, a hell of an expense. You know,
okay, well, we'll get, leave it, let you get a hold and see what you can figure out there, and then next week and that first part of the morning, then we can figure out what you found out.
We'll need something probably even in writing, put them on those part deals.
that's what I thought too.
Yeah.
That's kind of,
Anything else?
yeah, the Kiwanis Club in Drummond would like to get, they put that big walk park in down there. And somebody went in and picked up and tore it all up. And they'd like to get like maybe 15 of these Jersey rails from us to put on the perimeter to stuff, so you can't get in there, and then just have a locked gate in case they need to get in. And I need the authority from you guys to give them the Jersey rail, if it's okay.
I'd make a motion that we go ahead and give them to them.
Can we do that?
Yeah,
It is public entity, so
Oh,
that'd be my motion, to go ahead.
But who would be two?
the Kiwanis Club, where they put that big walk
You know, that-
park in Drummond.
Oh,
Parked in and picked up.
So, these were gifted to the county. right?
Correct.
Yeah. But
Is there a second on my motion?
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion carried, pass, so go ahead and they can come get them. Anything else, Paul?
No, that's pretty much it. We're down to the mowing. We're Travelers Lane starting there this morning, and we have from there to Hall to do it, and the mowing will be all complete.
That's good. Nice.
And we're blading East Fork today and moving to the bus round, then going, and we'll redo Middle Fork again before the snow.
Okay.
Yeah. So we're just trying to hit all the roads wherever they are. We're on the final 2 totes dirt patch oil. We're just hitting what we can now. And we just can't buy any more oil this year. Just gonna have to wait till next year.
A lot of money.
Yeah.
All right, well, like, running out of time, so we'll move on if that's all you got, or you could stay here and see what the Blackwood's got. They're sitting out there.
Well, I got one more thing. The people in Hall, they put a new sign up in downtown Hall. And Lawrence Nelson gave him a couple of big rocks that's just down the road in his yard. And they would like us to take the county loader down there and haul the rocks up to their sign and place them. When we got a spare time, is that fine?
Who's this for?
For the town of Hall, where they put that sign up that says Hall, they want to haul a couple of them big rocks up from Lawrence's place.
Sounds good to me. You okay with that?
I'm okay with that.
You okay, Chuck?
Yeah. Go ahead.
Okay, well, we're moving on. We're into the 9:31. We're running a little behind. It's JV with Blackfoot Communications to discuss fiber optic projects around Georgetown Lake and Phillipsburg area discussion.
Good morning, I'm JB with Blackfoot. This is Jordan with Blackfoot. She's in our engineering department.
Can you hand them that mic?
There you go.
Oh, okay, let me get logged in here. That way I can just switch over on the board.
It doesn't seem to work anyway.
Well, I'm fine. I'm pretty loud, so.
You probably find it.
We have a hard time
Just
hearing me,
record
just say
that.
it. I'll make the wall shake.
Go to that computer for picking up for Zoom, that's the issue, so yeah, if you could
Oh,
maybe move up closer.
Yeah, I'm right.
No, it's and the mic is underneath it.
Yeah. Have you heard any more on that other stuff?
Yeah.
Did you order it?
Yeah.
Cool.
I got all the words.
I'd like to get a copy of those bills if I could, the rate increases,
Oh,
if that's all right.
Yeah, this part of the speaker that could be.
oh,
into the-
okay.
That might, it's in, hopefully the computer finds it.
Somebody can see the presentation.
Just a sec. Can't see my eyeballs. It doesn't go in there.
Hi there.
Standing and. Whoa. Is that right?
There you are.
Okay. That does. Oops. There.
See if it. Did it find it? Did anything pop up? Anything pop up saying that?
Ask Jeff to say something.
Oh,
I think, yeah, that'd be.
is it working? No. Nothing popped up. Did you want to come look? Let's see. Oh, does it have a little microphone on it? So do I have to change options using a different microphone?
I know, there's always so many gadgets and buttons to push and everything, isn't there? I have the same problem.
I forgot what I
You
ever.
can go ahead and start while they're working on that.
Okay, so my name's JB, I'm with Blackfoot, like I mentioned, and we just wanted to come and talk with you guys about some projects that we have coming up and ready to get started on. As I mentioned with Billy on an email, so Blackfoot was part of a FCC auction. It was a reverse auction. It was called RDOF, Rural Development. rural development, basically funding is what it is. And it was a grant that companies could apply and bid on project areas. And if they were successful, then the government would help fund some of the project. And so it was really aimed towards rural, underserved areas that need more internet bandwidth and voice. And so we were successful in 3 areas. One of those areas was in the Bitterroot, from basically on the outside of Darby all the way up through the East Fork and West Fork of the Bitterroot. The Swan, up around Swan Lake, just past Condon is one of them, and Georgetown Lake and Anaconda was the other. Now, what that means for us is that we've got some funding, not enough to pay for the whole construction project, but enough that it gets us, going on the project, and we can, self-fund some of it also. But we've got some timeframes that we are under with the FCC in order to complete these construction projects. And so what the goal of the project is that it doesn't mean every single person has to take our service, but it means that we need to have our service close enough to all of these people that are in this area that we can serve them within 10 days. And so what I brought was just a very simple Google Earth of the project for Georgetown Lake. And basically, we are going from the Lost Horse area on the other side of Anaconda, or Lost Creek, sorry. And we are bringing the fiber all the way through Anaconda and then up and around both sides of Lake George.
Can I interrupt? Is this any way
Absolutely.
we can get this on the Zoom people, where the Zoom people can see it?
They can see it.
They can see it?
Mhm.
Okay,
And all those little dots are actually structures that came to us from the government. They're saying these are all the structures that you have to have fiber close to. And whether they take the service or not, we just have to put the fiber in the ground. And so part of the project then, if you think about Blackfoot Telephone Cooperative being in Phillipsburg already today, we've undergone a very large, guarantee that we're gonna start putting fiber into our communities. This one actually fits next to us, right? Just like the Bitterroot kind of fits next to us because we've already got services up the Bitterroot. The Swan. And so what it does, it puts Phillipsburg on our radar now for the following year to do fiber to the home in Phillipsburg. And so I'm here to talk about a couple different things. One being our RDOF, which is our Georgetown Lake and Anaconda area. And our secondary one being the following year, Phillipsburg. And
How many
starting fiber
pedestals
project there.
How many pedestals you putting up?
Well, we won't be putting up any pedestals, because this is fiber optic. This will all be buried in the ground, and it will all be in handholds, which are like a hardened plastic sprinkler box, but bigger. So they sit flush with the ground, and then they'll have a marker that sits next to them that is a locate basically pedestal, or not pedestal. It's just a triangular tube that sticks up out of the ground, and it's how we can locate our cables.
So is it going to all the fire halls up to Georgetown then?
We would be going, yeah, so we can zoom in individually here on this area. Sorry, yeah. You kind of I guess I just want to, my disclaimer is these red lines were drawn. It's not 100% accurate. We are in the drafting stages already. We've already had engineers out here looking at the routes. But this is a rough idea of what it would look like. It's not going to differ too much from this, but it might be on a different side of a road or something like that. But if you look at basically what our game plan is we actually have fiber down here right now serving a carrier down here. Just, I don't know, what, 3 miles probably from the Georgetown Lake area. And so our hope was that we can get some permits that we can plow down that road and tie into that fiber. And that will get us our connection back to Missoula so that we can provide the internet to this area and voice. And then after that, it's really just plowing fiber, along all the roads, up all the roads, all the way through to Anaconda. And then going through Anaconda and going up Lost Creek and going up to serve those people that are way up there at that far end of the canyon. Those dots are what our requirements are.
I appreciate you coming in because you guys went to like East Fork and just put in one without even letting us know and told us to pound sand. So that
And I guess
Right, it kind of came in.
East Fork.
East Fork Road.
Oh,
So, I just say, I appreciate you coming in.
yeah, no, and if there's an issue with something, that happened there, we can get on, offline here and we can talk.
it's done and
Right.
over, but we just gotta make sure when we put these in that they're not in the right of way, because if we go off and plow or something, hit it, then that's what happened last time.
Oh, I see.
Well, I didn't know.
Yeah, that's,
So I guess one of the questions, I actually live at Georgetown, I drive into Missoula every day for work. But one of the things I've been hearing is that the road around the lake used to be Forest Service, but they were talking about giving it to the county, and I don't know if that ever happened or it might just dream
It's
it.
in the works, part of it.
Okay, so like, yes, not only do we want you to understand what the project entails, but we're really, hoping we can get you guys on board with us to help, not only promote, but help with the permitting, help with any type of easements that we need. Because of the restrictions that we're under with the FCC, we've got a very small time frame, and the build season in Georgetown is so short anyway. Right? And the ice comes off the third week of May, and we'll probably have snow this weekend.
So you're talking about like in the right of way, but not like under the roadway, or are you talking about under the roadway?
No, most everything that we do will be offside. And Jordan, you can speak to that probably more.
Yeah, we'll be plowing alongside the road. I mean, there'll be a few spots where we'll have to cross, and bore underneath, but the majority will be off the side of the road.
And, when we have a handful or whatever that we're gonna set there, we can dig that back if needed be, so it's not like, nothing's gonna be right next to the road where when you're plowing the snow, you're gonna.
That stuff gotta be back at Georgetown Lake for sure, just because we wing so much.
Yeah,
But one thing about crossing the road there, you shouldn't have any trouble boring in Georgetown Lake at least with that material.
that's good. Yeah, that's great. Mid-States, they're an engineering company out of Utah that we've used for our Council Falls project that we're currently working on today and a few others. They were already up here and did some initial engineering for our route, just so that we could make sure we had that information and what we were gonna need. And I think, with the Forest Service, I'm gonna stop by and talk with Sarah, I think after this, just to kind of catch her up to date on things, but we're gonna start applying for these permits and easements or whatever it is that we run up against, right away. And, we're hoping, that any kind of county stuff that we need, we can do like multiple roads on one application instead of.
So
doing one
the,
individually.
encroachment permit application, that'd be a commission decision on whether they, allow you.
Right. So an example is we met with Thompson Falls back when we started that project, and one of the things that they didn't want to do is they didn't want all the paper of all the different ones. They wanted to do them all on the one, and it actually worked out really clean for us also because we could actually submit it, with everything on it. And even if it was a couple of them, it saves everybody a lot of time and work, and it's really clean. But it's whatever is easiest for you guys. I mean, we need to do what you guys want us to do.
We could put them on, we could put multiple permits on one, as long as they're all marked, so we know exactly where they're gonna be.
Yeah,
We'll take a look at them all, but generally, if we want to, it doesn't matter.
yeah, and on that note, you'll have to get a hold of the supervisor, so in case we got plans of doing something too, that we don't want all of a sudden hit here.
Sure. Do you guys have a contact for us that we could talk to?
Yeah.
That's all out road supervisor.
Here's the guy.
Yeah.
Nice to meet you. Glad you're here. So initially what you're seeing here is exactly what we're trying to do. We're trying to provide internet and phone services to these people. I know, like the Job Corps out there towards Anaconda, they're really excited about this because I know they've been talking. Bill Everett, we met with them, I don't know, about 3-4 weeks ago, I think. And I've talked with them about, getting through Anaconda, that type of stuff. But I think the real important piece for us is really this piece coming up the backside of Georgetown and all around Georgetown Lake. And, like I said, we've got requirements and numbers that we have to be able to provide those services to those people by a certain date. And
You could just start at the spillway, and then just have it location 1, location 2, location 3, and we could put them numbers on the permits rather than doing location. You know,
Okay.
Yeah, I think probably what I would do is I'd put our guy, Eric Nordmo is his name with Mid-States. He's tried and true as far as, you know, knowing a lot of the rules, but he was really good at working with counties and communities. So I think he would be a great person.
Blanche has a
Um,
comment. So.
What do you mean? You're getting easements or permits? Do you have to
Yeah,
get easements
for
from?
permits.
for encroachment permits,
Yeah.
put multiple on one paper,
Right,
multiple locations on one paper.
Yeah, because we're gonna have some areas where we have to set like a little cabinet that, for instance, can you zoom into the boat area and stuff like that? Yeah, right there. You zoom right there.
so are you putting this on people's property where you'd have to get an easement from them?
We may.
Yeah,
We will have.
That's
to
what,
talk to
that's my
people.
question.
Yes, we will have to have him figure out where the most logical out of the way spot is.
Right.
And see who owns it, see if we can get an easement to put it there. But the way the fiber works is we're gonna be plowing big fiber size cable. When I say big, it's, you know, bigger than your thumb, but it's got a lot of fibers in it. And it'll be a large count fiber, lots of fibers in it. But instead of putting a box in the ground and then plowing individual drops to all of them, we will put a cross connect in there. Basically, it's just a small little metal box that's got some fiber optic connections in it. And we will use that to just cross connect to all the people versus plowing an individual drop, you know, from one little spot out by the road. So we'll just plow fiber down through there, and then we'll just do little taps off a bit. And then where that box is, we just cross connect the fiber to connect all those people together. It's real small, it's real clean. Works really well. We're doing it all over Thompson Falls, St. Ignatius. We're starting Plains next year also.
Did your map show the county line there? Yeah, the dam area.
I did turn it off.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I was using that as an example,
Yeah,
because if you go, you know, over on the other side of the lake,
Yeah.
same thing, you know, like Eccleston and all of those little subdivisions that are in there, that, you know, we will have a little cross connect cabinet in each of those.
It's okay. Is there any comments, public comments?
Elena.
Go ahead, Elena.
Thank you. This is.
Go ahead, Elena.
Thank you. This is Elena Gagliano, a property owner up around Georgetown Lake. I have a comment. No, I can't see the slide that's up on that little screen. And my question, is there a written list of all the projects that we can see?
Is there a what?
List.
You mean of all the residences that?
Of the projects, yeah, and the residents that are gonna be affected.
Yeah, so basically, I don't have a list of all the residences because basically what we do is we have a dot on a map and basically it's everybody around Georgetown Lake. And so, like I was saying at the beginning, the customers don't have to take our service. We can have fiber there and they can choose to keep their HughesNet or whatever service that, or not, no service at all. But if they do want it, then we are going to provide it to you, as long as it's within a reasonable amount. Like if you any of the subdivisions or any of the home lands around Georgetown Lake, they are all on that map.
Okay, again, I don't see the map, so I can't tell.
Can you give me a rough idea of where you are?
Sorry?
Where's your house at Georgetown Lake?
Oh, it's up on top of the hill, actually near Maria Stoppler's place.
Towards the ski area or on the other side?
Other side. From the hill on the west side.
Yeah, so we are following that old road that's up on top, all the way over and all of Eccleston Bay and everything.
I'm sorry? What did you say?
So we will be doing that upper road all through there, all the way down.
Should he be turning this?
to Eccleston.
Maybe it's turn now, so fix it.
So you will be contacting those people up there, including us?
Yeah, so what we will probably do is send out a mailer and we will also have some signs up. One of the, we have to have you call in and request service to give us the permission to plow your drop. And
I
so in
see.
order to do that, we have to have a request of service and get you set up in our system. And then we come up, we plow the drop and there won't be any cost to you for that drop.
Okay.
The services that we will offer, there'll be multiple packages of internet and voice, and from a lower tier, 50 meg is our base starting package. It'll be 50 meg by 50 meg, and it can go up to 1 gig. So if you have a big business that you're trying to run out of your home and you got lots of people there and need lots of bandwidth, you can get it.
Okay, well, thank you for explaining
So
that.
we will just
So,
contact you through Blackfoot, am I correct?
Yeah, Elena, we will definitely have literature coming out and there'll be signs up with phone numbers and like I said, I live up in there, so you can always flag me down and wrestle me down and get me to sign you up.
Okay, well, thank you. Is there any other comments? I guess, like I said, the main thing is just to get with the road supervisor and then we just don't want nothing in what we're gonna.
Understood, yeah, 100%. And honestly, we do this every day, all day long, and
Right.
we want to work with you guys to make sure that when this project's done, you guys are completely happy with it. One of the other things that we are very good about, and this is really good for the residences that are going to be getting the fiber to know, if we come in there and we tear stuff up, we're going to fix it. We're going to make sure it's right. If we got a sprinkler, there's going to be problems. It's inevitable with that much construction. But we're going to make it right. If we mess up your yard, we're going to fix it. Bring in some topsoil and get it, the way it was when we got there. So that's.
Do you need an encroachment permit application?
I would love one.
I can email it to you.
That would be outstanding. Yeah, thank you.
So it'd be just the one for county roads.
Yeah. And I don't know if you guys have the time, but I also brought a map of Phillipsburg to show you guys what our game plan is there, which I think you guys would want to see that. Real quick, you, if you have the time.
Oh, we got 4 minutes.
Okay, well, I could at least throw it up on there, I guess. Just so you can see it.
Any other comments? What do you think, Blanche,
What?
on this?
Yeah. It's needed. That's great.
They
So
call it progress.
progress in the 21st century, moving.
So the county could potentially go after ARPA funds for broadband. Is that anything that Blackfoot wants to team up with the county on the project?
Actually, I'm glad you brought that up, because that was actually something that I was gonna mention, is that, there is some funding out there that would allow us to go in together to put, infrastructure in the ground. What those dollars do, so this is a different type of a project that we're looking at here at Phillipsburg. This is called ACAM. Basically, those were government dollars also that are allocated to us. So if we can put enough fiber in the ground, we can deliver services, to these customers on fiber, and we get a certain kickback from the government on that. Now, the bad thing about that is it's per customer. It doesn't pay in these areas because it's so spread out. If we were living in a town, small town, it makes more sense. But those are the areas that are not funded. In town, they don't fund those areas. They only fund the rural.
There's a lot of new addresses going in Granite County.
Boy, you ain't a fool.
So, but like at the courthouse, would we have your best broadband with the courthouse
You mean once we put fiber in?
after this project?
Oh, yeah, you would be pretty much unlimited on what it is you wanted. Generally, once you have fiber in the ground and you have fiber to all of these locations, the restricting element usually is how much people want to pay for that, right? So you want a 10 gig circuit, to your business location. They're fairly expensive, but if you can get by with a 50 meg Ethernet circuit, it's gonna be $50 a month. I mean, it's we're really simplifying what we're offering. We're trying to make it really easy for people. But again, timeframes and short windows. One thing I neglected to mention is I actually would like to have an engineering firm in Phillipsburg this fall still to engineer our whole fiber plan for Phillipsburg area, so that they have all winter to draft it and get it ready to go for construction. Materials are getting way out of control for us. It's hard to get anything. Some things are 6 to 8 months out. So we're really having to prepare way ahead of time for a lot of these projects.
But as far as ARPA, that'd be another discussion, I guess.
Absolutely. And actually, we have a person on staff, her name is Michelle Owens. She handles all of our, any type of government funding or government contracts. She's a regulation person, you know, she's really good at funding. In fact, we did in Island Park, Idaho. We met with them and we're actually did a contract, submitted a contract with Island Park to the state of Idaho for funding to help us, because the more money we can get to do these projects, the less Blackfoot has to fund it all themselves. And so we can actually do more in our cooperative areas, right? So now we can move from, because we have a little bit extra.
We got one more comment. Go ahead, Elena. Make it quick, please.
It's not a win, it's it.
Oh, Dan, go ahead and make it quick, please. Sorry, Elena.
Will you please identify the speaker and also identify where on the website his report can be reviewed?
Yeah, so the speaker is JB Ray with Blackfoot. I think that's what you said.
Yeah.
Okay, and you can go to our Blackfoot website and there is links there that talks about RDOF, talks about our ACAM jobs in Thompson Falls, future jobs in Georgetown, Phillipsburg, that type of stuff.
Blackfoot.com.
Blackfoot.com, yeah.
They did introduce themselves when they first came in. Thank you. Well, on that note, I guess we'll move on with this and see what we can do to help each other and make it work. Let's make sure and stay in touch with him, because I don't want another one of their last deals.
Okay.
That deal with East Fork was long ago, but it popped up here recently, that was resolved.
Okay, yeah, I apologize. Like I said, there's something, well, so, you know, I know we're done, but as you can see up there where all those lines are, that's where the new fiber is gonna go for the fiber. So we're basically overlaying all of Phillipsburg and all of the areas.
Sounds good, and I appreciate you coming in and explaining all this.
You bet, thank
If
you.
you need to get back on the agenda or something, we get all the Billy. and
Okay.
go from there.
Sounds good. I don't know what kind of updates, how often you guys would like to have them. I mean, we can certainly.
Hey,
Come
just
in
stay
and
in
talk to
touch with him, and if we have, he can bring something to us, and if we have a question, don't you think, Blanche, then we can have you come in or whatever.
Sure. Encroachment deal we got on the agenda.
Yeah.
Your permit application.
Okay.
After that.
Yeah, I think probably what I'll do is I'll get with our engineer from the States and I'll get him to get a list of everything that we're gonna need, so you guys can start looking at it.
Sounds like a plan.
Well, thank you very
Yeah.
much.
Thank you.
Thank you guys very much. Nice to meet you. Thanks. Thank you very much.
See you guys.
Bye.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, so we'll go ahead and move on to the opening bids for the courthouse ceiling repair project, awarding a bid for emergency projects decision.
We got no bids.
So I guess
So-
we'll leave it open still.
So, mind if I talk?
No, go ahead.
Talked to Janine and she was actually wanting to just do the project with the bathroom project. So it's actually, I think, beneficial to, it's your guys' call, but
Yeah.
you're gonna do the bathroom project this winter potentially. But
Just do it one time,
yeah,
instead of doing it and then tearing it out and redoing it. Is that what
that's
yeah.
what Janine's
I
thought
think it'd
was.
be pretty, yeah.
I don't know if you guys want to put a toilet in that woman's bath right now, they're just using the judge's chamber, but that floring's tore out in the women's bathroom.
Well, that's the thing, there's how much money you want to put in
Yeah.
that and then turn around and tear it back out. I guess if they don't mind using the judge's thing where he's not here, it's, if they could still do
Is
that.
that okay with them? I mean, inconvenient or?
I don't think anyone working upstairs has an issue with it. But I don't know.
I just hate to spend a bunch of money in that and then turn that around, and tear it back out.
Yeah.
I can ask officially, but I don't know on the
Yeah.
setting.
So you can just wait and see if anybody has to go before you and use the mints. No, just kidding. Just kidding.
So, yeah, but, and hopefully, Catherine gets back to us and we'll get moving on that project. Do you guys see the correspondence with Andy, where they had that bill, but then
Oh,
they
no, I
withdrew,
didn't tell, because it was on the phone.
they withdrew that bill or whatever, 'cause she's like, what did you do for us? And then they were like, well, we'd probably just need to start fresh anyway. And it's like,
And I,
start fresh, we were just working with them here recently, I mean, we just wanted some.
I
So,
never
I-
seen
To
that.
me, my advice
They
is
just ripped
try
it
to deal
out.
with someone else, because,
yeah,
I mean, why would they say just start fresh?
it was weird, yeah, because we've gotten that statement from Annie. And I told you guys, I emailed them back and said, I don't understand what this is for. Can you give me like a detailed invoice? And so she gave me an invoice, but it wasn't detailed. So I was like, I want to know when the work was completed. Like, what are the dates? It was like for $3,000 around.
Yeah, two
And
thousand.
so she said, well, it was from a couple years ago. And I was like, okay, well, just, can you tell me the dates the work was completed and what work was completed? And she never got back to me. So I called her. And she was like, well, you know, this is really old and we've done a lot of work with the county, so I'm just gonna tear it up. And I was like, well, no, you don't have to tear it up. Like, I just want to know what work was done so I can submit it for claims. And she was like, no, it's fine. We're just tearing it up. And you know,
That's all right, I can tear it up.
it was weird though.
Yes, yeah.
Just to
Yeah.
send a bill out of the blue, that doesn't make sense to me, and then to say start fresh, when we've been working with them for years and just recently worked with them
Yeah.
on this plan.
Is there any comments on there about the?
No, nothing.
So in other words, Bings, there was no awarding bid, we're merging projects.
Yeah, any,
Do we have to
You
make a
guys could-
motion?
yeah, I do a motion that you're gonna just have it be done all at one time with the bathroom over.
Okay, I make a motion, Bings, there were no bids for the ceiling repair, that we merge the project with the bathroom.
Do I have a second?
Yeah, I'll second it.
Any public comment?
No.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right. Sounds good. We'll be on at 10:15. Outflow review and decision. We're at 6427.50 with 24 inches below. So we still gotta leave 30 going until October 15th, so.
It's not going down any further, or is it staying the same? Dropped a little bit more.
Yeah, but we don't have much choice. It's
Can't do anything.
still until October 15th.
Only about 2 weeks, so hopefully
Yeah.
get some more, I think there is
Yeah.
moisture in the forecast.
Yeah, it's supposed to rain today. So I'd make a motion that we keep it at 30 going till October 15th.
Hey, Scott, I didn't hear what it was.
He didn't hear what it was.
Oh, it's 24 inches below, 6427.50. Sorry about that. But we're still in that work, so we gotta leave 30 going till the 15th of October.
Right, right.
Get some moisture and then we can cut her back.
Okay, I'll second your motion.
Do you wanna specify a amount to cut it back to, or besides?
Let's wait till we see what comes up, because we might have to move it a little different, so. Chuck seconds the motion, and all in favor, any public comment?
I don't think this-
All in favor?
Aye.
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 All right, so
You have a speaker for that laptop, so it should be able to pick up people on Zoom projector, but we need to get it.
We didn't get it going. It didn't recognize it. Okay, let's see if it recognizes it.
Where it has a speaker on the bottom right.
1 minute. Is it on? It's on. Oh, do you have to turn that one off for that one to go on, maybe?
There should be like a deal that pops up and shows it.
Yeah, I know. When I unplugged it, then I
Yeah.
plugged it back in, it didn't show anything. So it's not recognizing it.
Lights on, but. See, let's go into control panel and devices.
Are we still on?
Find device.
That's fine. I guess we can go ahead and move on to the 10:30 one.
With the,
Listening, I'm gonna see, Jackie wanted this on there, so I'm gonna see if she's gonna jump on.
Oh, we're waiting.
Yeah,
I was wondering why we had it on there, because we went back to one. didn't we?
Yeah, she said,
I didn't wait till 10:30.
Oh, we better wait, we're gonna wait.
yeah, you wanna go off until 10:30? Jackie, we can't hear you.
Can't hear
What?
it.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah,
Hey,
because
come
I
here,
didn't.
Jackie.
I'm here.
You wanted this on?
I did. Kristen Mortensen from Missoula Forest Service wanted to know if you guys wanted to continue at stage 1 or rescind it.
No, I'd make a motion to rescind it.
Just go back to 1.
We are,
So we have one,
You
so.
you are at 1.
Fully go, just go back to no restrictions,
no
other than
restrictions.
no open.
What's the Forest Service on?
They are no restrictions.
Yeah,
Or what?
Oh.
so I think ours actually automatically rescinded when they went off.
No, I have to have the resend or the documentation to send them. They have to have the resend.
Well, we had it in the last motion that when the Forest Service rescinded theirs, ours would go. So, but we can just make the motion to rescind it. I mean, I'm doing that.
Jackie, I have that resolution I could send her. Hopefully that would suffice.
Yep, that's what we need. Yep,
Okay.
yes, please.
Okay, question.
So you don't even need a motion, man, really.
And the Forest Service has rescinded stage 1?
Yes, they have, Blanche.
And that includes Beaverhead?
Yes,
Okay.
Okay.
So I could send Kristen that resolution and.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay.
and do that then.
All right.
that would be
Alrighty.
great. Thank you.
So we don't have to make a motion.
Correct.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank
Jackie.
you.
Thanks for all your work.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
26 gonna work for you and.
Oh, yeah, it should.
He was saying 1 to 5, but it shouldn't take that long. The issue, I guess, is if the full commission wants to meet that day too, and then try to make a final decision that day, or it's up to you.
Worst thing about that is if we,
The way it's gonna work is we'll start in the courtroom, they'll stay up there, and then Scott and I will go to another room.
we're still on.
But
Oh.
we're gonna try to come to a decision. we're gonna come to a decision, then potentially gonna have to go for the full commission. So it's the issue is the full commission want to sit there until we come back again, or do it the next.
So October 26th.
Please have Dan.
12th.
12th.
Like 1 to 3. That'll be the full commission. Cover that to the 12th, the afternoon will be mediation on Frederick. Judge McLean's a good he did a good job mediating, so hopefully.
Say that again.
Judge McLean did a good job as a mediator, so hopefully. we can something around.
So. here's that list. Should I add anything else to my reply?
I'd say,
You just add to the reply. Say what you want.
Did you hear Bill Slaughter's wife passed away?
That's what Sarah said.
I sent him a message saying sorry. How's he doing?
Pretty good. I went and had coffee with him and his son Sunday. And then I seen him yesterday. He asked me, so.
She's only 70, but she had a lot of help, dementia, and then had a basically kind of stroke.
And then she fell and hit her head, and that's what they had a hema or whatever. So.
Doing all right though?
Yeah, so.
I thought I've been married for 50+ years.
Let me read that. You can look at it as that. Email or conversing on people from an ambulance with Jordan White. Did you read all of it?
Yeah. Yeah, and then I talked to Frank some more too. He was just the biggest problem was it just. I thought we were. I asked you a lot. Okay. Sorry about that. I thought Okay, so it's close enough. Granite County Policy and Procedure Manual decision. I looked through that some more and that change that you had and that it's like good catch.
Yeah.
Seriously. I go ahead and.
So I think
Any comment, or I guess do we make a motion acceptable?
Yeah, unless you have any other changes.
I did. Did you have any more?
no,
Did you
no,
have any, Chuck?
What's that?
did you have any comments on the personnel policy?
No, I didn't have a chance to look at it last Saturday. I didn't even know if I'd be sitting here. So I've been busy.
Oh, there was a couple changes that we made on the last time it was on the agenda have been changed. And I make a motion that we accept the personnel policy and procedures handbook.
No, I'll second it.
Any public comment?
Elena.
Go ahead, Elena.
Thank you. I see that the probationer, I'm sorry, the handbook was uploaded online. Does it show what was changed?
There's just one page that was changed. It was page 79, and I will upload that changed page. I didn't re-upload it because I wanted to make sure all the changes were final, rather than continuing to upload the document every week.
That's fine.
So I'll upload the final signed one today.
Did you hear?
Well,
Elaine?
sort of. I heard page 79 and it hasn't been uploaded, but it will be. As
Yes.
far as the probationary period, is it still 6 months and a year?
On which one?
The probationary period?
What page are you on?
10.
Okay, just a second, all right?
I'm sorry?
I said just a second. We're
I
looking.
don't think there's anything on there for deputies.
Employee shall be given a 6-month probationary period.
Okay, except for not deputies, it's department heads. Who
Yeah,
are the department heads? Is there a list of them?
well, no, just whoever's each one in office.
Because I was wondering why some don't even get any probationary periods, some do.
I guess I'm not understanding what you're saying, Elena.
It says, well, if you're on page 10, it says new
Yes, I read it.
employees.
I just didn't know what you're trying to get at.
Well, it says new employees get a probationary period.
Yes,
Okay, so some get 6 months and some get a year. The department heads get a year before they get their whatever the heck you want to call it. Their appraisal,
Evaluation.
right? So until they get their evaluation, then no benefits, no anything applies to them, right? If they're department head?
Deputies are appointed yearly. So who are you referring to on needing a 6-month evaluation?
I don't know. That's what I want clarification on. That's what it says. It says 6 months, but then employees are given a 6-month. And then except for department heads who's given a 12-month.
plus they get, when their step comes, they get an evaluation.
So what are you saying, Elena, that you want it to be read that?
No, I just want to be, if this was still going on, and what determines whether they're a department head or they're not.
What's that?
Can I clarify what a probationary period?
I think we only have one department head other than the elected official, and that is probably Paul Alt. So all the others are elected officials as department head. So I understand where you're getting confused with this. Maybe that it should be it shouldn't, maybe department head shouldn't even be in there, because an elected official, you don't give any kind of probationary period, they're elected. So I'm thinking the only department head we actually do have is the road superintendent.
Yeah, report.
All the others are elected officials, so there wouldn't be a 12-month probationary period with an elected official.
Okay, so all the employees get what, a 3-month probation? Everybody else, other than the elected officials, are employees and they should get a 3-month evaluation?
No, 6 months.
I'm sorry, 6 months. Correct?
Yes,
Okay.
except
Well,
for elected officials and their deputies.
Oh,
Their
now it's
deputies are
their
under the elected
deputies.
official, so they do not apply either.
Correct.
Is that
So
your
the
question?
deputies get it every year
Yes,
or after the first year?
the deputy officials are appointed And it's renewed once a year, so they're not on the matrix, so there's no evaluation. It's between they're at the will of the elected official.
Okay, because then, I mean, I give you the deputy clerk and recorders, and then also the administrator, the commissioner's administrator.
The commissioner's administrator is a deputy clerk and recorder.
So that they would get one after a year, the probationary period.
So the deputy clerk and recorder took an oath, and yearly they would be under the will of the elected official and would, I don't know if you have to do an oath every year. I can't remember.
Well, I'm just talking about the appraisal. It says
Yeah.
there's a probationary period.
Exactly, 6 months.
Okay, which means either you're doing a good job or you're not, right?
Absolutely. But it doesn't apply to the deputy clerk and recorder or the deputy treasurer or the deputy clerk of court. They are under the will of the clerk and recorder or of the elected officials. So it does not apply. The probationary period does not apply to the deputy of Granite County.
I think we could go ahead and accept.
I do think that maybe, I think I have to say this, except for department heads, needs to be completely pulled out. And the county may choose to extend an employee's probationary period by 3 months. That could stay in.
Yeah. So can we, before we accept it, we
Yeah.
have to wait till next
Make the
week?
corrections, yeah.
Okay, so we'll put it back on for next week and then accept. it.
Yeah. Thank you, Elena.
You have another comment from Dick.
Okay, go ahead, Dick.
Where on the website are the proposed changes listed?
She just told him that she's gonna get him
Well, it's
on.
probably not, because we just changed it. It won't be on the website until she gets it changed. Thank you.
So effectively, nothing was posted on the website about the proposed changes?
We just,
She just answered that.
Do you have a proposed or drafted resolution for the proposed changes?
no, we're just going over it each week and looking at it, and then we can change it if we want.
So the public doesn't know what you want to change.
We just said what we were changing.
You're supposed to give notice about what's going to be changed.
We just went over it with Elena, so we will change it. It'll be back on for next week.
So Dick, the personnel manual is not adopted as yet due to another change that we see. So I don't think there has to be a resolution to adopt the personnel manual. We've been going over it for months and months and months. And then with Elena seeing the probationary period, we noticed that we need to change that too. So we can't adopt the personnel manual today.
Correct. Copy that.
Do you still have cheat sheets from all the corrections that were made, or did you just correct them and?
I have from the last one that was made. And let's see, before that, we just added the addendums. So it would just be the regular book without the addendums. I mean, I think I could probably figure out what changes have been made and haven't been made.
So if you can do that and then post the changes that have been made,
Yeah,
and then next week we will adopt it
okay, yep,
unless there's more changes somebody sees.
I can do that.
Okay, that sounds good. Well, we'll move on then. We'll go ahead and go to the minimum and understanding MOU with Montana Wool Growers Association, discussion and decision.
Here's the bottom one, yeah.
This is an annual thing and it's just a bill saying how many sheep are being taxed. Stock of sheep on rolls, and we do it every year.
Correct,
Yeah.
yes.
Okay. $1 a head. So, and then this goes to the Wool Growers Association, the money does.
Accept a
Yeah.
motion.
So does there have to be a motion to accept it?
Do I have a second?
Yeah,
Okay,
Any public comment? Okay, all in favor?
aye.
Are we off?
Are you gonna go off to the next item?
I keep forgetting.
There you go.
All righty, we're on to the advertising appointment of 2 landowners, irrigators to serve on the Flint Creek Dam Advisory Committee. Discussion, decision. Under their recommendation, they wanted us to pick 2 people, but they will have to apply on paper, so we know who they are. We can't just.
Yeah, so you may want to advertise in the newspaper.
So we'll put it in the newspaper.
Yeah.
2 weeks.
Yeah.
2 weeks.
Any comment on that?
no, let's do it.
I do a motion.
So I'll make the
Elaine,
motion.
That's a comment.
You want to go ahead and make a motion on it, then Blanche, and then,
Oh, Chuck said he made a motion.
okay. Do I have a second?
I second it.
Any public comment?
Elena.
Go ahead, Elena.
Excuse me. Okay, so this we're talking about is the 11 o'clock. No, wait, 11:10
11:10.
agenda item, appointing 2 landowners for this advisory committee. Who's on it now and why isn't it going to be open to anybody in Granite County who would like to be on this board?
Believe the court order establishing the set of irrigators. Yeah.
Flint Creek.
I'm sorry. What was that?
The court order back in the day, I believe said 2 irrigators.
Okay, back in the day, I think the last time they met was when, 2019? I mean, and this is still a working committee?
Yeah, it's been, I believe they met recently.
Yeah, after all these years.
Well, that's up to them.
Yeah, it's up to them.
You know, that's up to them to meet. I mean, they're just,
Yeah, so I could,
we can't order them to meet.
But you're gonna put it in the newspaper asking for what they want.
Yeah,
I don't
that's-
understand. Why don't they do it themselves?
Why can't we do it?
They asked us if we would put it in the paper advertising for 2 irrigators.
The two irrigators.
Landowners. Yeah, landowners, irrigators. So they want landowners who are also irrigators.
Well, I water my lawn. Does that make me an irrigator?
It means you have a water right.
You have a
Or,
Yeah.
water right.
or leasing a place. Yeah.
So we're gonna do it, right, the motion.
Okay,
The motion's
let-
been second, I'm talking right now.
No, I'm not finished. I'm
Well,
still
you
asking
quit and I started,
questions.
So we're gonna move on.
No, I'm not finished, if you don't mind. I didn't get my 3 minutes, did I? Now, now that you interrupted my thought, let me just, to go back to that. There's people are on it that, you put the agendas up on the county website when they're gonna be meeting, because it used to be that way. I used to attend the
That's up
meetings.
to them,
It's up to them?
yeah. We're not telling them when they have their meetings and what time and all that. If they're gonna have a meeting, a lot of times they wait and see what's going on with some of the stuff with the ditches and stuff, then they can talk about it. We're not gonna start trying to control them when they have their meetings.
Who does the maintenance and everything on the dam? Who pays for that? I mean, it is the Flint Creek Dam. I thought that's under the county, and the taxpayers of the county basically
The
are
taxpayers,
responsible for it.
the taxpayers do not pay anything in Flint Creek project. That is monies that they get from the royalties from the electric use at the dam. There's no tax dollars in that.
But it's
Okay.
By the public, the
Yeah.
public advisory committee, it's just it's not a county.
There was 200,000.
So Granite County doesn't get any benefits from it, right? Except, what, 10% yearly from the money that they make, and that's been used, and now, I mean, the last meeting they had, the last meeting they had on the agenda, which we got the same day of the meeting, and the minutes the same day, August 31st, they said they were going to discuss ownership of the dam. Are they gonna, oh, I know, maybe they're gonna take ownership. Maybe the homeowners association or the people that live up there want to take ownership over the dam.
I don't think they do.
Well, thank you for your comments. We're gonna move on with this.
Can I say something on that?
Yeah, go
The
ahead.
advisory committee is nothing over like maintenance or anything. They're just advising on like releases and lake levels while they were advising.
Thank you.
Dick also has a comment.
Oh,
Dick,
go ahead, Dick. On this,
Are you confirming that the Flint Creek Grant Dam is not within the jurisdiction of Granite County?
Oh, no,
we're not getting into that.
You said that there was not gonna be any money budgeted for the
no.
administration of it. You said that they were
Thank
gonna,
you.
Maybe clarify.
You want to clarify what you're saying?
Me? All I was saying is that the Flint Creek project does not have tax dollars in their revenue. The only revenue comes from what was given to them from the Montana Power Company years and years ago, and royalties from the electricity that's produced.
Had you some billed, but it hasn't been.
Yeah.
on local
Yeah.
tax.
It's, we're not saying that we're giving up the rights of the dam.
No. So we'll go ahead with the motion. We've had a second. All in favor?
Aye.
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 We're gonna move on.
Dick has another comment. I don't know if you want it.
Go ahead, Dick. Make it quick, please. On just advertising appointment of 2 landowners, irrigators to serve on the Flint Creek Dam, is all we want to hear about.
For the record, let it be understood that Mr. Adler or somebody there muted me prior to being able to participate in the discussion concerning the Flint Creek Advisory Committee.
I think everyone's muted until you, everyone's muted until she, until everybody's. I couldn't hear him.
Dick, everyone's muted until they raise their hand on an item that's on the agenda.
Oh, I thought you were talking.
And
Why?
I've already raised my hand and
We took your comment, but we just want to
Well-
comment on the two landowners, irrigators who serve on the Flint Creek Dam Advisory Committee. That's all we're
I
talking.
can't hear you, Mr. Adler.
So the agenda item, Dick, was an appointment of two landowners / irrigators to be on the Flint Creek Dam Advisory Committee. That is what the agenda item is. We had discussion and decision, and it was, the motion was made and seconded that we would put it in the paper to advertise for two landowners / irrigators for the Flint Creek Dam Advisory Committee. That was the agenda item, nothing to do with income or revenue coming into the Flint Creek project.
You were the one that responded. It had something to do with it. The other comment that I have on that is if that committee is available only to residents, why is Ben Singer on the committee? He's not a resident of either Granite County or Anaconda, Deer Lodge County.
This is a state appointed, a court ordered advisory board. So you'd have to visit with whoever, who's the chair.
Well, does the board or the committee report to you or the Deer Lodge County?
They don't report to anyone, Dick.
So why is it before the board?
They're asking if we would advertise for two landowners / irrigators is what they're asking.
So why would you even concern yourself with that if it's not within your jurisdiction?
It's the court is asking you to, but it's also just working with the public. I mean, not, I guess you could say no. I mean, but the court has created this.
We already made the motion, it's passed. Thank you for your comments.
We would say thank you for your comment.
Nice one.
We would say thank you for your comment, and usually you, whoever you,
I could still in here moving papers or.
that's Chuck.
Oh, that's Chuck. Okay.
Elena has a comment.
Go ahead, Elena.
Okay, I think what's confusing is that on the agenda, it says advertising appointment of two. We're just gonna put the ad in the papers that the Flint Creek Dam Advisory Committee is looking for these, and that anybody interested should send it to them and not to the commissioners. Is that
No.
correct?
As well point, it doesn't mean, it's not your committee, it's not a county committee that you're gonna appoint people to serve on.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear that.
Blaine said that it's not, we'll appoint. But this is not managed by the commissioners. This committee is not managed by the commissioners.
But so you're not going to appoint anybody, they will.
They requested the commission appoint.
Okay, you say this is part of the water court. Blaine, can you send me the copy of that water court decision?
What it was Judge Malloy's order, yeah.
Blaine said yes.
It's not, but it's not the water court.
It's not water court. I'm
It's
making it
Federal district court.
federal district court.
Okay, yeah, okay, that's better. I remember there was a lawsuit about that. Yeah. And then I think it was Maureen Connor who used to be part of it. She was the coordinator for the county. That's right. Thank you. Yeah, I appreciate getting a copy of that. I'll have to compare it to my records.
All right,
My
thank you.
records all documented, by the way. Thank you.
Still on.
Okay, we're on the county shop in Phillipsburg matter, easement and deeds to and from Joe and Shane Durkin. Discussion and decision.
I don't know what all these.
So we got the, we had the, agreement between the county and Durgan's, and they went through the by title auction, that's completed. I think, Julie Sears, their attorney, and I have been working back and forth on deeds, two deeds, it'd be one from the county to them, one from them to the county, and also easements, two easements, one from the county to them, one back to the county. So, I think it's all these documents are ready. I think they're still, they don't have a certificate of survey number, but I think they're working on getting that, recorded. The, documents are prepared for, Chuck's, so we could do, could change that to Scott Adler acting chair, or you can approve it today and you can have, Chuck sign it later, but however you'd like.
Want to just go ahead and sign them so we can get this through?
Yep.
So I'll have a motion that we go ahead and just have me sign them being chairman today.
Okay.
So I'd say the motion be to approve both deeds and both easements, and then sign one deed, one easement. Mr. Adler's chair.
And make a motion that we approve the easements and deeds with Joe and Shane Durgan from the county.
I'll second it.
And for Commissioner Adler.
And for Commissioner Adler being the chairman for today to be able to sign the deed. Is that okay with you, Chuck?
Yeah.
One deed and one easement.
Huh? One deed and one easement.
Any public comment?
Elena.
Go ahead, Elena.
Thank you. I noticed that there were two things uploaded for this.
Yeah.
And on the second one, I don't know the distinction, but it's the agreement. It's 6 pages. That's what I'm looking at. It's a little confusing. It says this agreement is entered into on the 13th day of April. And then on page 4, it says dated this 27th day of April. and it was notarized April 27th. I don't get it. And then it's signed by Charles Hinkle on the 13th of April.
So it was signed by different entities on different days is what it was. So it's, yeah, that was already entered into, and that was the agreement that called for the quiet title and these deeds and easements.
Well, what I was saying is that that particular one doesn't make sense, that on the 27th of April, it was notarized and signed. But then on the 13th of April, it was notarized and signed by Charles Hinkle.
Okay.
How can you have something dated April 27th? And then the next page, it says April 13th. It doesn't make, in other words, I don't know, this is all since April and we're discussing it now. And I checked and I didn't see this on the agenda at all. And now all of a sudden it's on now.
Oh, it was on the agenda like probably 3 or 4 times.
Oh, because I
mean-
couldn't find it on the agenda. I'm just wondering. It
Okay.
seems like it's just, we forgot about it and just to cover up, we're putting it back on having.
No, absolutely not. That's a lie.
And that's my,
That's-
excuse me, in my humble opinion, all right?
That's not.
Don't say it's a lie.
That's enough. Don't have to put up with that.
So someone else got it.
This was on the agenda in April. You guys approved the agreement. It called for the quiet title. That took a few months to do the quiet title action. That's so the accused people of covering it up. That's an absolute lie right there.
You don't even know how it
So we've
feels.
had that motion in the second. All in favor?
I,
Aye.
Aye.
one thing I want to say about signing different dates. There's times when on legal documents that it doesn't have to be signed and notarized on the same date. It can be signed by one party on one date and notarized, and signed by another party on another date and notarized, and the agreement in the document can be different.
Thank you.
She has another comment.
We're not, no, I don't want to hear.
I don't know. It's 11:26. We're on the.
No.
So the easement deed, I need to take Chuck's name off and put yours on.
You won't be here for this.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
I just had an extra minute, so I knew you guys were gonna talk.
We'll be back on it. We're still on.
Yeah.
Okay, we're gonna jump to the Broadwater County trial update discussion. Due to the fact we're jumping up to it, the Sheriff Dunkerson's in here and he's gonna talk to us about it. Cause he's
I can-
busy and got shit to do.
I can wait if you wanna go till 11:40, Scott.
No, go ahead. We got some other stuff.
Am I supposed to give the update?
Sure.
You want me?
You're here.
You're good with that.
You're here.
I talked to Corey Swanson. He's the prosecutor that handled that. Well, him and some folks from the state.
And some Missoula County.
Boy, when was it? 2 or 3 weeks ago? And he wasn't sure he was gonna call all the witnesses at the 135 that were shot at, and that's in Granite County.
Correct.
So there was multiple attempted deliberate homicide attempts there in Granite County. But then when we ended up at the 129, Under Sheriff Short, now retired, and I did not see the muzzle flash from the guns that they were shooting at us. So he didn't know if long story short, he didn't call us to testify in the trial because we did not see those guys shooting at us. We could hear it. Could
And then
definitely hear
your
it.
pickup was hit,
Yeah,
but
but
I mean, you didn't know.
we
about
didn't have to go over there and testify. The Deputy Austin McHugh, Lieutenant O'Brien, Sergeant Berger, I can't think of his first name. Those guys seen the flash, and Austin was able to articulate that it was round, it wasn't oblong. So he, from both positions, I think that was probably key. They were trying to say that the father wasn't shooting at us. So he was convicted, as you've seen in the paper. Okay. And he'll be
sentenced at a later time, and I'm sure he'll appeal. There's not much question in my mind on that, so. They originally, they went with the death penalty on that, but they took it off the table after they found him unfit to stand trial and all that good stuff, but. We're really glad to see a guilty verdict, and mainly for Judy Moore, Mason's widow. She's been waiting over 4 years for that, for crying out loud, so.
Sad deal.
I think something that should be noted is, I don't know if the commissioner's seen that, but Corey Swanson wrote an article of thanks to the counties that contributed to the prosecution of this devil, because it was and unlike anything I've ever been on before, I can tell you that. And I know there was some concerns over Granite County contributing to that and this and that, but if Blaine would have decided he wanted to prosecute those cases that happened at the 135 in Granite County, it would have cost Granite County a whole lot more than $25,000. I can tell you that. If we would have had to house that guy and transport him back and forth to Warm Springs, we've had a case like that.
I think we did the right thing, and, you know, we all sat and talked about it quite a while, and no.
Yeah,
Well,
expert witnesses called there and that helped defray that. Cost.
Yeah. So I don't know if anybody has any questions for me on that or whatever. I can't answer everything. I wasn't there. but-
Thanks for being on the
Yeah.
stand on the line of fire. That's not easy. This is what led
You
to
don't
the,
think about it at the time till it's all over with.
the board, your compensation board here then wrote that letter to Mako to start the ball rolling, to have the sheriff separate, salary separated from the other elected officials. Because
Well,
of
the whole,
that hazard.
there was a whole team of folks there that morning. Tyler Dietz from Anaconda. When I got to the front, he had just tackled him and he hadn't even had him, his arms were still out. And I grabbed his arm and brought it behind his back. Tyler's the one that took him into custody. He's the guy that took him into custody.
Sheriff deputies all over the state are doing that and
Yeah,
should
they are.
potentially,
They
have a
are.
hazard pay increase.
Do we
They
take
are.
public comment on this, or it's just a discussion?
You-
Do we have anybody?
Yeah, hey Scott, I just
Yeah.
want to say, that was probably my first vote. Or close to my first vote as a commissioner, and I'm glad I voted for the $25,000 for Broadwater County.
We are
I'm
too,
proud.
Chuck. Thank you guys very much. And the prosecution team and law enforcement across the state was appreciative of what you guys, not just Granite County, there was other agencies as well. And this guy needs to, personally, I would like to see the death penalty on him, but it's just not the way the courts work anymore. But he won't see the light of day again where he can get out and do that to anybody anyhow. So it was appreciated by a lot of people. It's not that much money considering if Blaine would have decided he wanted to prosecute, because it would have been hundreds of thousands of dollars, if not millions. I don't know what the state's been prosecuting this guy, but it was a lot of money. So I think it was a wise decision. I know it was well appreciated by his widow as well, to see the teamwork to come together to put this guy away.
The efficient way to do that, to have a trial in every county that we went through, that would have taken forever and the cost would have been astronomical.
Yeah.
So the way they consolidated is the best way to do it.
Yeah, well, it was appreciated by a lot of people, so.
We'll go ahead and we got public comment. Go ahead, Elena. Just on this Broadwater.
She haven't said anything yet.
No, I'm sorry, I didn't put my hand down from my, the last agenda item that wasn't finished yet. I'll do it for public comment. I don't like being called a liar and then not being able to address that. Thank you.
All right,
Dick has a comment.
go ahead, Dick. This is just on Broadwater County trial update.
I'd like you to quit mumbling and I would probably understand things a little bit better. But
I'm not mumbling.
you are to me. As far as the appropriation of $25,000, the county commissioners approved that based on the warrant from,
No. Since we don't argue over that, we've been through this quite a few times.
Did you mute him or did he quit talking? Oh,
About the 25,000.
We've gone over this and over it.
Well, maybe I should have brought it up, but it was appreciated.
No, that's,
No, I meant, them saying it's illegal. Oh, that's what he's getting at.
Oh, I don't know how it was. I don't even know where the money came from. The county decided to
It's,
spend. Was it?
mhm.
No, yeah, he,
Okay, well, if that's all on that. We're gonna move ahead to the reappointments to county boards, discussion and decision. Thank you, Scott. Good job. Appreciate your work.
so Dirk Sickland put back in for the DUI task force, you're good with that. right?
Yep.
Okay, so we got quite a few people that, we're gonna accept their applications for all the boards. We've gone through them and looked at each one and they're all signed and good to go. I appreciate everybody that wants to be on these. It means a lot. It's hard to find people to be on these boards. So I would recommend a motion on accepting of the application.
do we need to name them?
I can, you think I should?
Yeah.
Okay, we got Lucinda Christensen for planning board. Fitz for Granite County Weed Board. I don't know how you say his first name.
It's Lucinda Christensen again for the weed board.
Huh?
I think it's Lucinda Christensen again for the weed board. Yep,
But she's on the, yeah.
yep. for both boards.
Heidi Hinkle for the planning. Vera Johnson for the Area 5 agency. Dirk Shivlin for the.
Sickland.
For the DUI task force. Charles L. Hoopson, CHIP Fire Service Area Board. Ron West for Valley Cemetery District, Ron West for Weed Board. Dwayne L. Or how do you say this, or ULRIC.
Over.
Ulrich.
For the DUI task force.
Dwayne,
I don't know about that Ron Wetch character. You better check into it.
I'll
Ron's
take a
different.
motion, and then I'll accept- take a motion if they accept them.
I'll second it.
Any public comment?
Elena has a comment.
Go ahead, Elena.
For the record, as far as the 2 notices in the newspaper, there was no filing deadline for the application.
There wasn't.
So,
We're accepting these, though.
I'm sorry.
We're gonna accept these. We had a motion and a second.
Well, I didn't see them. I didn't see that there had to be a filing deadline. I talked to some people, they were interested and they didn't realize it.
Almost all of those are actually reappointments.
Basically, open, if it's open till filled. Maybe next time.
So did you hear Blaine? It's open until filled, and these are reappointments.
Reappointment, well, what about somebody, if their term is up, then it's up for. So,
Next time we'll make sure it's in there.
So was it in the paper 2 weeks?
it was in
Oh,
the
it's in the
paper,
paper
but
2
there was
weeks.
no filing deadline, and it didn't say open until filed. And then all of a sudden, it's done, just like that.
So it's the commission's decision if you want to do another newspaper notice.
I can run it again and put.
Huh?
I can run it again in the paper and put a deadline on there if you want.
Because it
We still
sounded
have-
like you
No,
said
we're
there
not-
was
if
new,
we Get it right, that's just, no, we're not gonna change it.
it says that there was new new people that applied and reappointments. Is that what you said?
Yeah, one new person.
One new person.
Not one new person. I wonder how she knew.
What? What'd you say?
I wonder
How did
how
she
she
know?
knew to
Oh,
apply and when.
I don't know, it's on the website and it's in the paper.
It's on the website, it was in the paper. Thank you for your comments.
I
All in
potentially
favor?
have Chuck, maybe separate hers out so he could recuse himself on her appointment.
Well, I made the motion, she seconded it, so he can read, yeah.
But, yeah.
Yeah, Chuck, just don't vote on this, okay?
You talking to me?
Yeah, just don't vote on this being Heidi's
Okay,
Separate her out.
separated out or whatever.
okay.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion will carry that.
Maybe ask if you vote for yay on all of them except for.
Did you vote yay on all of them except Heidi?
Yeah,
Okay.
yes. Yeah, and all, but Heidi, I abstain on Heidi.
Okay, and then so the next one would be at 1 o'clock. It's a Trout Creek Ranch subdivision, but it has to be tabled for next week because Linda's gone. So we'll just put it on for next week, and Billy will be here in case somebody calls in to find out that it was tabled. So if they call in, she can answer it. Thanks, Billy.
I'm gonna go make those changes
Yeah.
to the documents and be done.
Okay, and we've had a couple correspondence. We'll go through them so we can get this done, okay?
You have that?
Okay, the solid waste one was showing that I asked for it last week and got it. It's shown how much more they're gonna charge on the dumping, hauling and disposal costs. Okay, and then we gotta thank you so much for your contribution to the, this is a team effort and your participation is very much appreciated. All about. This is a Big Sky rail link one.
A thank you card.
Okay, and the next one's from the Justice Court to the County Commission. Judge Fratsky will be attending fall conference Monday, September 27th through Thursday, the 30th. Barb will then be the sub-judge during this time for initial appearances in Justice Court. She cannot issue search warrants. Judge Fratsky is available by phone. Thank you. And we got the Office of the Treasurer of Granite County, State of Montana, on the reference on Flint Creek Hydro. We got to pay $7,996.96. And DEQ for public notice, September 20th, is on a Coal Strip Energy Limited Partnership, Rosebud Power Plant Coal. And the other one was from Susie Browning. I'm telling us that she couldn't be on Zoom session and was wanting comments on why Commissioner Hinkle and Commissioner Adler do not want to have video. And we went over all this, and Commissioner McClure had to say on the item. And that's all we have on correspondence.
Did we sign them all?
Yeah. And they're all signed and.
Oh, no, you need to see that.
So next thing is, we're going right to public comment on matters with commissioners' jurisdiction. Do we have any public comment? Go ahead, Elena.
Okay, I must have missed something. What happened according to the agenda? 11:50, reappointments to the county discussion. It's 11:43. Then it says noon to 1 PM. And
Blaine
then,
said it was fine that we could move them up. You can call and talk to Blaine.
no, I'm sorry, I'm not finished. It's public comment, isn't it?
Yep.
So then it said at 1 o'clock,
And I was asked, I was
that was,
answering your question.
was that tabled? There's
The
my
Trout Creek,
question.
yes, I told you that Trout Creek.
I
Rec
didn't
Section.
hear it. I'm sorry. I didn't hear it. That's what I'm making my public comment to. All right,
Okay.
so now, public comment. You read a correspondence from Susie Browning. That was supposed to be for your meeting this morning regarding the Zoom meeting platform. You didn't read it. You didn't read it. Okay, and it should have been read since her comment applied to that. You still didn't read it. Okay, that's my comment.
Okay,
And
thank
the
you for your
other thing,
comment.
no,
Well, you said that was your comment. I was just thanking you for
Did you want me to unmute her?
it. Yeah.
Sorry.
I thought she was done too. She said, thank, that was her public comment, so I thanked her for it.
Sorry, I unmuted her.
I'm back on. I'm back on. Thank you. You know, this is just, the way is just unbelievable how this is happening. I don't like being called a liar and not have to reply because I'm muted. Someone said when comments criticize the government officials, they mute the voice, they silence the voice. I mean, that's what it appears that you're doing. I did not lie.
We
And the
heard ya.
recordings that that are my recordings that are put up on someone else's channel are not lies. It's not slander. It is my opinion to a recording that is unedited. And there's 2 recordings on YouTube. Yours, the let's say the legal recording, the authorized recording that says Granite County. There's another Granite County in this country also. Who knows how to find it? Is there anything that it has to do with the county meetings, the Granite County Commission board meetings? Nothing. And then if you ever watched it, it's not coherent because you don't introduce the items on the agenda. There are no introductions. You start talking, and then when you mute the mics, it goes into something else.
Everybody that's been here today has introduced themselves. Thank you.
And you're very welcome, but I'm not finished and I'm not asking you to comment. And there is a big difference between actionable items and non-actionable items that you do during public comment. You don't decide to do a motion, or you don't decide on a whole bunch of things, and it is not for the public officials. Public comment is public comment. So these are just a few of the things that I'm trying to highlight, and I try to say there's a way of doing it where it's more coherent, more transparent. Instead, I get argued with and muted. And thank you for your comments, but we're going to continue doing it our way. And the public be damned. Okay, so now I heard
Okay,
something
you're out.
that,
You got your 3 minutes are up.
oh, okay, I didn't see.
Thank you. Anybody else? Okay, we're gonna move on to the board of minutes. If I can get a motion to accept.
I make a motion, we accept the board minutes for September 21st, 2021.
I second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 Motion is carried. I'll make a, and then I'll ask for a adjournment, motion to adjourn.
Sound good. Good job, thanks.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you,
Aye.
Chuck. Thanks, Brian. Thanks, Billy.
Thank
Have a good
you,
day,
Scott,
everybody.
for being chairman today.